CBS News senior security contributor Michael Morell is a former CIA deputy director. Michael, good morning.
Good morning.
How serious should we take these travel alerts?
So the one overseas, right, it's obvious that we need to take that very seriously given what happened in Paris and what ISIS's capability is now in Western Europe. Here at home, I do think we need to think seriously about a possible attack over the holidays for two reasons. ISIS has thousands of followers here in the United States. The FBI knows that. They've now been incentivized by what happened in Paris to try to do something here. And we know that those same people, right, were focused on the 4th of July. So you'd think they'd still be focused on a holiday period.
If we had a attack like took place in Paris, what would that change?
So, Charlie, I think this is a fundamental question that should be grappled with in Situation Room. And that question is, if we had a Paris-style attack in New York or Washington, what would our policy then be vis-a-vis ISIS? And then a second question is, okay, if that would be our policy the day after, why isn't that our policy the day before? That's the fundamental lesson learned from 9/11, from September 11th.
In fact, that's the question we asked when we saw the bombing of the oil delivery outside of Raqqa.
Right, and that's all rules of engagement, right?
So how good are they, Mike, really, when you think about it? From the outside looking in, they seem sophisticated, they seem organized, they seem to have a high degree of intelligence.
So it's a great question, and it's counterintuitive, right? Because they seem, right, when they have a successful attack, they seem that way. But the vast majority of terrorists are not particularly intelligent, they're not particularly sophisticated, they make a lot of mistakes. The Mohammed Attas of the world, right, the ground commander from 9/11, or the Khalid Sheikh Mohammeds, the masterminds, those kind of guys are very rare.
But the point is they're willing to die.
Yes.
Let's talk about the breaking news this morning, this Russian jet downed by Turkey. How significant is that?
Right. So I think it's significant in the sense that the fundamental problem that we have to solve to go after ISIS in Syria is Assad. Right? There's got to be some sort of an agreement among all the players in what happens to him, right, so that we can focus the Syrian army on ISIS. This complicates that because Russia is on one side of that, right, which is Assad gets to stay, and Turkey's on the other side. Assad's got to go right now. So it complicates that discussion.
How will they settle that?
Through negotiations, right, through sitting around the table and talking. I think that's going to be the main issue discussed today between the president and French President Hollande.
Michael Morell, thank you.
You're welcome.
And Michael is staying to answer your questions on ISIS and national security. You can join the conversation right now on our Facebook page. That's at facebook.com/CBS This Morning.